So, this piece is about leadership, right? You're a young leader yourself, and we'd really like to know your views and opinions on certain aspects of leadership, right? So, what do you think are some of the most important decisions that you make as a leader for your organization?
So I think the first thing that I did, when I became a CISO was that I didn't wanted to be a boss. I don't want things to be get done for me.
Right.
I get my things done myself. Yeah. So if there's a teammate of mine, who's sick, who's not there for a few days, I would go sit on his desk and get his work done, because the important thing is getting the work done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If there's a fighter not there in the fight, then somebody has to replace him.
True. Very happy.
And in that my management has helped me a lot, as I said. So it was, I sit with my team every Friday and we discuss what could we do better. It's an open this discussion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not the CISO there, and there's no managers. They are just normal employees of the organization sitting on a table. It's like a round table conference.
Right. Right.
There's a reason why King Arthur had a round table, because everyone were equal there. So it's a round table conference and we discuss that what could we do better, what should we do next week.
True.
And that has helped us a lot. Because it's as I say, it's brother in arms.
True. So you're more of Amey Naik as a person that you are than a boss or than a CISO or a leader out there.
Yes.
Right. It's so a lot of personalization. You being invested as you.
Correct.
Is the key ingredient here.
And people also are comfortable. They can come up. Someone might have a better idea.
Yeah.
Experiences doesn't mean that people know better.
Yeah. True. Interesting. Now, what are the few resources that you would recommend to someone who's looking to gain insight into becoming a better leader?
Don't be a boss. Be a team player.
Team player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Respect people. Respect your teammates.
Right.
Yeah. He could be a basic IT support engineer.
Right.
But he could have better ideas.
True.
So it's not always that since you are a leader, you know everything. No, we don't. We can learn from the team as well.
Absolutely. True. So what you're very clearly saying is don't carry the ego of being a boss on your shoulders.
Yeah, you are not a boss.
Yeah. True.
You're doing a job role.
Right. True. Now, given your perspective, how do you encourage creative thinking within your organization?
So as I've already mentioned that I every Friday we have a roundtable conference.
Right.
We sit as a team and we discuss what could we do better, and everyone gives their input. Right. No matter how small on a role he might be on, or he could be anyone. Yeah. And if that idea if they give better ideas, then we celebrate it. If it helps us, we celebrate it.
True.
So and it's a fun. So as I said, Ventura Securities is a fun place to work at. They really value their employees.
Interesting.
And we don't have the boss and employee policy
culture. Okay. But tell me, Amey, how would you react to one of your colleagues committing a major blunder or a major?
We are humans and humans are prone to errors.
True.
If he's committed a blunder, out of unconsciously.
Or sheer ignorance, maybe he didn't know.
Or it could be ignorance. But see, we do, हम उसको डांटते तो है ही. बच्चा भी अगर गलती करता तो पेरेंट्स
थोड़ा डांट तो चाहिए.
But then we have a culture, where we rectify things fast.
Right.
So even my colleagues, even my teams, if they make mistakes, they'll first, I tell them, don't come to me with the problems. Come to me with solutions.
Right. So, okay, the problem has happened. You know it. Get me a solution and come.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. I think it makes them comfortable too.
Yes.
They'll
resolve themselves. When they can't resolve it, they'll come to me.
True. So that's a lot of free hand that you give to your people. Interesting.
If you do micromanagement, you can't manage.
I agree with you on that. Now, Amey, what is your secret sauce? Can you share some principles that you've lived by?
So I have always, as I've said earlier, I never have been a boss.
Okay.
Yeah, I've started from the scratch, from the base, and I've learned my way to the top. But even to the top, I don't want it to be a pyramid, because in a pyramid, the person at the top is always alone.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the brunt of
It's
being
more
a
like
leader.
it's more like being as I said, it's so I more like want it to be a circle.
Right.
Yeah, where every teammate is important.
Yeah.
We let them, everyone gives their inputs and they are important.
True. Interesting. What advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the very first time? Don't be a boss.
Don't be a boss.
So you're a very strong, ardent preacher of not being a boss and rather be a player.
Because that always, it undermines people, it demotivates your team.
Okay.
If they have to do everything for you, then, it's more of, you're the monarch and they are your subjects.
Right.
This is not monarchy and they are not your, subjects.
True.
It's more of, you're at a war.
True. Interesting.
Everyone at one hand they call it a war, a day-to-day war. CyberSecurity is a day-to-day war. And on the other hand, they want it to be a culture where they are the boss and then they have subjects.
True.
And I think it's the human nature. Everyone wants to be the king.
King. Yeah. I mean, that's what actually motivates a lot of people, and that's what drives a lot of people. So to stand out takes a lot of courage and being bold. I absolutely agree. Great. So Amey, thank you so much for sharing your perspective on leadership. It's a very different and a unique one for me from a long time compared to other leaders, and each one is right to their own accord. Now, talking about you as the person, right? This is a rapid fire round, so we're looking at quick answers and rapid answers. One thing you love about your job?
Technology.
Okay. Your favorite destination to travel to?
Ladakh.
Okay. You've been there a couple of times?
I go there every year.
Wow. And I've only been planning till date, not gone once. Okay. Your favorite food?
I would call it Maggie.
Maggie. Okay.
See, IT people don't have much time.
Yeah. So something on the go is always preferred.
And I think every person who's done science in life has survived on Maggie in colleges.
True. Very much. Absolutely. A book that probably inspired you the most?
A monk who sold his Ferrari.
Okay. Your role model?
My father.
Okay. What do you splurge on?
Gadgets.
Like you mentioned, you've been an IT freak from a very early age, right? If you don't mind sharing, what was the very first salary that you earned?
6,000.
Okay, and this was the 8th standard?
No, that was not salary, that was pocket money.
Pocket money, okay. True. One thing left to do?
I think I don't leave anything. If I think that there's something that I need to get it done, I will get it done now.
True. So you're a person of now, right now, and that's
I don't keep things for the future.
Interesting. One love?
My wife.
Absolutely. Now, Amey, if not...
So, just to add, she's seen the questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she said you better say your wife.
So is that coming from there actually? Okay, all right. So Amey, if you were not an InfoSec professional, what would you have been?
I would have. So I always wanted to. I love science.
Okay.
Yeah, but as I said, parental pressure. I took commerce. As I said, Gujarati household.
Right.
Be a CA. But I also wanted to be an aerospace engineer.
Oh. So you would have probably been in that field.
But that my cousin's fulfilling my dream.
So he's taking up the baton for you. All right. Interesting. The next segment is I give you two choices. You have to select one.
Yeah.
Right. So between Twitter and Instagram.
Instagram.
Okay. LinkedIn or Facebook?
LinkedIn.
Cricket or football?
Cricket.
Okay. Physics or chemistry?
Physics.
Okay. Movies or music?
Movies.
Weights or cardio?
Cardio.
Books or Kindle?
Books.
Early mornings or late nighters?
Late nights.
Okay. iOS or Android?
iOS.
And formals or casuals?
Casuals.
Okay, well, right, like you mentioned. Okay, now we'd like to know you at different stages of your life, right? How you were as an individual. So when Amey was 18 years old, what was he like as a person?
Very ambitious.
Okay.
Yeah. Very aggressive.
Okay.
And I think there was innocence back.
Right. And I think you were already an entrepreneur by then. You
Yes.
started working
Yes.
and making money early on. So true.
Independent.
True, yeah. And by the time you got to 25?
I think that was 3 years back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
But
how is it for you
little
now?
maturity.
Okay.
Yeah. And still ambitious, still aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah. And a better understanding of how the world works.
Interesting. Well, you're not 30 yet, but tell us about what is next for you. What are you looking at next in your life?
I think I just had a son.
Oh, wow.
And I would
Congratulations.
Next, what I'm looking is, to see him grow.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest joy that
Yeah.
you could have. True. Well, Amey, thank you so much. It's been an absolute delight talking to you and having this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me up.
Pleasure.